Look out for them polar bears.
It's a bit dark.
It is cold.
It's freezing. 7 degrees. Oh, that's actually my bedtime.
Yes, we won't be long. Doris Day died.
Tuesday.
97?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty old.
So they reckon it goes in threes, celebrities, like that sort of thing, death, whatever. So that's Doris Day.
Well, how do they say it comes in threes?
I
Like
don't
what?
know.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I understand the theory, but what's the time frame? Like if
About a week, couple of days. Within a week and a half period, they
so
reckon.
if two die within the week,
I look at it as an
what
old.
happens to the theory?
Well,
It's
within that
destroyed.
week and a half, usually three. Famous. Well, the old saying comes in threes. Doris Day Tuesday, Bob Hawke yesterday.
Well, he wasn't an entertainer,
But he was
he was
famous.
ex-prime minister.
Yeah, he was famous to Australians.
Who I met, and
He
you
was
met.
well known.
I never met Doris Day.
No, but we know Doris Day as in.
Dun, 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 dun. My mother, dun, dun, dun. Doris Day and Rock Hudson, I think, did lots of movies together.
Yeah, well, when did he die?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yes, see?
Died of AIDS, unfortunately.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, do
Hiccups.
hiccups come in threes?
Yep. Oh, I don't know that. What's behind that theory? It's just what people have always said.
Yeah, it's also a psychological thing when people do things three times, like
Yeah, but that
repeated, like an OCD thing.
that could be in 6, in 9, and doing. See?
No, not that one. It's like people do things. They'll go around the house and move the salt shaker 3 times or whatever, or they'll count to 3.
Or 6. Or 10.
What? No JP yet?
Yeah.
No JP.
It's late in Queensland.
He might be working, cleaning the pole. Pole dancing expert is JP.
We have one lurker.
Good evening, Luca.
Lurking. Probably wondering what in the hell is that a picture of?
I think most people on Boyd basically don't sleep a lot,
Two.
but they're probably asleep
Hello,
between
two.
now and lunchtime.
Hello, 2 lurkers.
That's like sounds like a good name for a YouTube channel. 2 lurkers.
They're lurking in the background.
But it is very cool evening. Certainly Fahrenheit.
Oh, we've got one.
Yeah.
One got bored.
I don't know if you can see that. Can they see the temperature?
Yeah, because I can't see nothing now, so I'm presuming they can see it.
That's the temperature in Fahrenheit. And I think it says 46.
We've got no one now. See, you've got it on me. They're gone. I'll be back.
Hello, eating breakfast. Kathy's eating breakfast. As you know, I'm interested in food, Kathy. What are you eating? Is it, let me guess, just think, pancakes? Maybe pancakes? Saturday morning. No, it's probably eggs. I reckon you're eating eggs, Kathy. Bagel sausage. Actually, they're very popular in Germany. When we were there, they'd have all those sort of things like a bagel or even a stranger long-looking type bagel, like a pretzel, you know what I mean? The pretzels that they love in Germany. And they'd cook in a sausage in there and cheese and all sorts of things. Most Germans in the morning will walk past with a coffee and a bagel or pretzel, you know, the bread pretzel. That's what they have for breakfast. Um, in the hotels, you'll get bacon. They call it speck, but bacon, eggs, sausages. Yeah, I think it's a walk around, quick food, isn't it? Like they just go and grab a coffee and a bagel and away you go. I've tried them. Bagels, they're just not my cup of tea. Like in Australia, they do all sorts of bagels, but the most popular one is like cream cheese and salmon and crap like that in there, asparagus. I mean, I do like my food, but I don't like it thrown badly together. Breakfast in Australia is normally Vegemite on toast. It is cold though. I don't know whether you saw that, Kathy, but this is our temperature. It's about 9 o'clock, I think. 42.3. Yeah, I got a friend of mine that's had them in New York. He says they're good. But a lot of the bagels they make here, they're very hard. You know what I mean? Like physically hard bagel buns, and they're not appealing at all.
Now my eye goes watering.
Kathy's having bagel and sausage. I said that's pretty popular in Germany too.
Yes.
What's changed, Kathy? Kathy says, wow, how things have changed. What about life in general or how we live? I think I've told the story when my grandfather was a boy, and that would have been the late 1800s. Yeah, it gets cool here, but this is going to be a cold winter by the look of it. My grandfather, like he was born in 1895, so as a young child, he remembers, and as a young man, at the turn of the 19th century, that there were about, and I'm not kidding you, there are 365 days in a year, and a lot of Americans only get 2 weeks annual leave, and Australians get 4 to 6. Hello, Danny G. And he was telling me that because there's all sorts of festivals that go back into paganism in the UK, they'd have, I'm not kidding you, 130, 140 days of the year was a festival of someone, festival of Stephen, May Day, all these different festivals surrounding different sort of pagan rituals, if you like. So they had lots of time off. Tell Mrs. Caesar, sent her my email address. That's Danny G. Yeah? You
Yep.
listening?
I'm listening. I'm reading too.
Oh, she's even typing. Hello, Mystic Angels. How are you? She's there. I didn't know she was there. But there you go, Danny. Yeah, so, I mean, in reality, a long time ago, people had more time to themselves. They did work longer days, like he did tell me he'd work. He was a footman to a horse carriage in a very fancy house. As a 12-year-old, he started work, my grandfather. And they never got any wages, they just got food. And after about 4 years, he figured he might get a job that pays him money. But it was very common that they'd start work at 4 in the morning, different jobs. He has to go and get the coal. Yeah, I agree with you, Kathy. We work far too long in the modern era for very little reward, if you weigh things up in the context of what I'm saying. And we have very few values. Like my grandfather going to all these different days of celebration. They meant something, I guess. You know, like the festival of this or the feast of that. They meant something. Whereas most people just work, get some days off if they're lucky at the weekend, and a couple of weeks off at the end of the year, and that's it. Then it's just back on the treadmill. It's not like it used to be. So what do you value in life? Is it time to invest in creativity? Like no one paints anymore,
I haven't
or
fully.
draws, or does any craft or pottery or all those sort of things. People just say, I haven't got time. And the truth of the matter is they're probably being very honest. You're working 10 hours or 2 jobs, just making ends meet. Yes, I agree. And we hardly watch television at all ourselves. And today we had two of our kids, their partners, a friend, two of our grandkids around, and we just had.
And we actually had to kick them out because the shops today closed at 5.
Yeah, but it was sort of our daughter's birthday was yesterday,
Yeah.
but we all got together today, and the missus made German pancakes, which are yum, and there's a video on her channel if you want to know what it is. But it's like we just took time. We probably had 3 or 4 hours together. Welcome, Bully.
Hey, Bully.
But you know, you just if you don't make time, it disappears on you, and you can't get it back. So we had fun. Grandkids played their little tricks and did what they had to do, and we laughed and talked about different things. And then the wife put on some video that's like 40 and 50 years old in the family.
Oh, yeah, because I had old Super 8s. What do you call it? What did I do?
We had a whole heap of Super 8s from your mother and father's that went back 40 and 50 years, and then it was transcribed on to digital. So digitally changed, I think cost a fortune in the end, a couple of grand, didn't it?
Yes.
Cost a couple of grand to get it changed over. And the guy did a great job. He put a little bit of music with it. And
Yeah, but he sort of, I don't know, a bit mixed up though how he put it together.
yeah, and I think you're right, Danny. I think the culprit here is that we can only blame ourselves for complying with this fast track life. And there are some things people can do, like some people will work part-time at home and part-time in a business. And that's good. It gives them the time that they can do things with their kids or family, because a lot of parents work so hard. The kids get dropped off at daycare, go to school, and then the kids get picked up at night time, and then the mum and dad put them to bed. You haven't really been with your kids all day. So we're getting to a point in society that we're living to work instead of working for a living. And I know it sounds like the same thing, but it's really different.
Oh, we're in Australia, Pink.
Oh, Pink, I didn't see you there.
We're back home.
Yeah, we're back home. Yeah, and I spoke to someone the other night about this, Kathy. We work from home, and you just got to do what you need to do. But you're your own boss. You can determine your income based on how hard you work, and it's a good way to live. Yeah, I agree, Ruth. You know exactly what I'm saying. If you can push time into it that is, other words, empty. Your kids have gone to school, but you've been with them in the morning. Then you work 5, 6 hours, be it on the computer or whatever you do. And then you work from home, and then the kids come back. You sort of don't miss the living part of working. Do you know what I mean? I'm bad with procrastination. Well, that's just one of these things, Kathy, a lot of people are frightened of doing is making a mistake or failing. Oh, you're very kind. Thank you, Pink. It's okay to make a mistake. It's not okay to keep repeating it. But when you procrastinate, you don't make a decision. And in itself, that's a mistake.
Yeah, but we all have...
Do you know what I mean, Kathy?
But we all have days like that. Sometimes it's not procrastinating. Sometimes it's just taking time out, chilling, relaxing.
Now, there is something that's very true in some sayings. And generally, the first thought you have is the best one. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, you know, you're looking at your garden. I'll give you an example, and you think, oh, I'm not sure what to put there. And then you procrastinate, and you put nothing there for a while, and then you put something like a palm tree that doesn't look appropriate in a certain spot, and you think, oh, that was a mistake. But then you go back to what you first thought. You're thinking of a little cottage garden with daisies and tulips, and then you go and do that the third time, and you think, that looks exactly how I should have done it in the first place. So on a lot of occasions, our first thoughts about something are usually the correct one, because your mind wants to please you. In other words, be it a visual experience with your garden, or buying a product that you thought you should have got, but you procrastinated. Yeah. Danny, I did 2 jobs for 20 years, but I made sure that I never missed any of my kids' sporting events. I used to help train the kids. I'd work early in the morning and late at night. But during the day, I could have most of my day free to be with my kids as they were growing up. And I don't regret it for one moment. It was a fantastic experience. And because you don't get these things back. You know, I've spoken to a few of the friends over the years. I'm totally naked under this. Bully, do you want to have a look?
See,
Actually,
naked.
Bully, we'll go into a private room because I know you want to see me personally naked.
Stop it,
But
stop
we don't need to
hassling
show the other people. Take the hat off. I'm bald underneath this. Bully, do you really want me to take my hat off? Totally bald, as a badger. I lied. I lied. I got hair. Have you got hair, Bully? I've got hat hair, but I've still got hair.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I think on a lot of things that we ponder, you can use the word procrastinate if you like, we've already got the answer inside of us. We're just hesitant in moving forward to do it. And I've been guilty of that. Hello, Shauna. But you've got to, I think, like you're saying, you get a feeling, whatever it is, you get a feeling about something. You think, that's what I'm going to do. And then this little thing comes on your shoulder and says, are you sure? It's your self-doubt coming in. And you go, oh, maybe not. But I swear to you, as I've got older, the first thought you have about doing something or going somewhere or creating something, it's usually the best idea. It's the first one that comes to your head for a very good damn reason. It's usually the right one. It's the same with your perception when you meet somebody in real life. We all do this little data sort of analysis, and you might have a few little doubts about the person, but overall you think, yeah, it's okay. I'm a person that gives someone a length of rope, and if they make it go tight, in other words, they push me too far, they're done, I'm finished. But your first perceptions about what you want to do in life, you've got them all. You know what you want to do. You know you want to go, say, to Europe, or you know you want to buy that boat or car or visit someone. And then that little thing on your shoulder says, are you sure? It's your self-doubt. So I would encourage all of you, even if it's a mistake, to do the things that are in your heart. Because you won't repeat them. If it's a mistake, you go, oh, I'm not doing that again. But you have no doubt then that you won't do it again. Not doing something is actually worse than doing it and making a mistake. You don't learn anything. I'll put you over to Studio One with the bosses. Transgender is a mistake. Not really, Bully. You know, like Bully, you were born with a mean streak, really spiky spine. Well, that's who you are. Transgender people are, I don't even think of them as transgender. I think it's a bit of a silly word myself, and I hope I don't offend anyone in the transgender community, but you're a male or a female in your own heart. Doesn't matter. If you look male but you want to be female, it's your choice. So there's a big difference, Bully. It's choice. You choose to be a mean, nasty fucker sometimes, when you're probably really just a big old softy. The truth is that you're not born with a disposition to be man or woman. You're born whatever it is that's inside of you. It's crazy.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm with you, Shauna. For me, we've got several friends that are gay, lesbian, and in between, if you like. But I have the other thing, Shauna, you might appreciate what I'm going to say now, and I think Nicole said it a while ago, it's very hard for even normal people, and I don't mean straight people, normal people, who perceive someone as a man, even though they've got boobs, they wear a dress. You know, their personal view is that, well, very masculine, even though he dresses up as a woman. However, there's some normal women who look like men as well.
Exactly.
So that's my point. It's relative to your perspective. But if Bully wants to be called the guy who wears a pink tutu, that's what he wants to be known as, I will respect that, Bully. I will call you Bully, the pink tutu wearing guy. How's that? But it's perception. It's all about perception. If you have a self-belief that, say you're a woman and you want to be a man, and we know a person in real life, this is true, I'm not making that up. And she was always very masculine anyway, wasn't she? And then she became a man through an operation, believe it or not. So my perception of him is that he is a man, even though he was born on the birth certificate as a female.
Nice hair.
And
Must be lag.
I've never seen anyone on YouTube who is a transgender, again I don't like that word, who has come from being a woman to a man. Has anyone here seen that side of it? Because all I ever see is the man become the woman. Do you know what I mean? For me, there isn't a...
What?
You see the transgender, if you want to put it in commas, that they were a woman, were a man,
Yeah, I know.
and dress up and have operations to become women.
I do. I know someone personally.
I know, but I'm saying I don't see them on YouTube where a woman has become a man.
Well, yeah, my friend's daughter who's at the operations now,
Yeah.
a man. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel, but I went through that journey with them. I used to babysit her as a
Yeah.
baby.
Yep.
Watched her grow up, and went from Jemima to Jeremy.
Well, there's one thing I can tell you categorically, that whether you're born male or female is irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
I think for
What-
a start, RC Bully needs to put a picture on his thing.
I think RC Bully should come out of the closet.
Oh, stop it.
I really do. He's a pistol-wearing, pink tutu kind of guy.
Just a picture. I can send you a picture if you don't have any, Bully. I can send you.
But what I was going to say was, categorically, gender does not mean sexuality. Let that sink in for a minute. Just because a man wants to become a woman, okay, and dresses and has an operation and gets boobies, all those goodies, has nothing to do with sexuality. It has to do with how they feel about themselves. Now, there's a lot of big perceptions that, oh, well, if you were a man and now you're transgender, I don't like the word myself, but you now become a woman, that you will now have relations with only men. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Gender does not mean anything to do with sexuality. Yeah, 2 more kips of coffee.
2 more kips.
But Shauna, you probably understand what I'm saying. It's not like there are a lot of people I've met who are bisexual. And there's lots of people who are male who only want to be with men. So they're homosexual. But these are all labels given to society. Do you know what I mean? It's like label. For me, it's unnecessary. For me, I use the word transgender to explain, but it's not. I don't register it in my head, because a person looks like a woman but is a man. In my eyes, she's a woman. That's it. It doesn't have to go any further for me. Or if a woman dresses up to be a man, it's a man. But if someone dresses up to be a woman but sounds like a man, walks like a man, swears like a man, my perception is that it's a man with boobs. Am I mean by saying that? No, that's my perception. But some people dress up to be women really well. Some men dress up to be women really badly. I've done it in a review show when I played footy.
Yes. Oh my God.
And I make the ugliest woman you can ever imagine.
I'll have to find the photos of that.
There were those lacy stockings, fancy knickers, socks and bras, the wig. Man, you think I'm ugly now? You should see me as a woman. Put you over to the box.
Oh. It's cold here. It is, what is it? 46. Oh, you've got it on.
46 Fahrenheit.
It's cold. I'm glad it doesn't snow where we live.
We may get frost in the morning.
All right, Daddy G, I'll try and find these pictures of Seeds dressed as a woman. Actually, I don't know if it's on a video, the old, you know, the old VHS. I don't even know if you've got it anymore.
Don't know.
Oh, I might have it in the photos, but that's not going to happen until I unpack my stuff. And that's not going to happen until the house is extended, because everything's packed up right now. So, I think we should all take a vote. Who thinks RC Bully should put a picture on his thing?
I think you should have a 9mm handgun wearing a pink tutu. Yeah? That'd just be perfect.
No.
He's always in girly hangouts, so let's get the pink tutu for him. He's always threatened about all his weapons. So a 9mm
I don't know, I don't hear any of
wearing a
that.
pink tutu. That's the go.
Oh, so what is it, daytime there for most of yous? What are we doing today? The additions are... Not yet.
They're about to get underway.
Yeah. Shauna was talking about Awesome Hooker with her come to Salem in October.
Too cold.
I know, but Seeds doesn't want to, Shauna.
No, that's not
mean-
true. It's not that I don't want to. I just don't want to do it in October, because then we've got to go to
Yes.
Canada in November.
Actually, I'm not very good
And-
with the cold.
VMAX here.
Hey, VMA.
What's the weather like in Canada in November, VMAC? It's rainy and cold there now, and it's spring. Yeah. I don't mind the cold. This one
do,
hates
I
the
do.
cold.
Shauna, I'm not good with the cold, I've got to admit. And
No.
I was dressed up to the nines bloody...
No. You don't have to chop off your weenie. You just got to tuck it under your bum, RC Bully. And then the pink tutu nice and tight with a 9mm. You look like James Bond in a pink tutu.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You're warmer than Canada, Shauna, but then we want to go on to Canada. I'm going to do more research before we go to the US and Canada anyway.
May, June, I'm
I
thinking.
got to admit, I want sort of nice weather. I don't want a bit cool, but I was constantly rugged up in Europe and England. And I actually...
I thought it was good.
I do cold real well.
Yes, he'll forever be known now as the pink tutu with a 9mm. And we might be talking about your gun. I'm not sure.
Yeah, see you go, Kathy. You to ask her. Yeah, where's your photo? Come on. All right, see you, Danny.
See you, Danny. Have a good one.
So I'll have to get some ideas.
Massachusetts? No, it's not going to be off. It just might be a different time of the year. And what I've read up on it is there's plenty of Salem activities all year round. Even though you were combining like Halloween with it,
Yeah,
Salem is Salem all year round.
That's true. I only wanted to go see all the Halloween because I love Halloween. And I know US still do it real cool.
Oh, we do Halloween
But I
pretty good.
suppose I can go to Salem any time of the year. And it takes up, warm clothes takes up so much room in your suitcases where then I could buy more if I only have to pack summer clothes.
I think it's a good idea that the word should be spread. The pink 22 RC Bully with a 9mm.
Yeah, that's right, Shauna. Alright, we'll spread the word.
Does
Kathy.
VMAC see any men with chopped off wieners? Well, generally, if you go near VMAC with them teeth, the answer's probably going to be yes.
She's camping, so she'll have Wi-Fi. She's not. Where are you camping to still get Wi-Fi?
If you go in the bush in Australia, there ain't no Wi-Fi.
Just pedal harder on the push bike. Get the electricity going. Yeah,
I can imagine it would be, yeah.
I suppose it would be. Oh, it's a Victoria day-long weekend.
Does that go back to colonial Victoria, VMAC? Because that's an old English day off, Victoria Day, as in Queen Victoria. I know it's the actual state, Victoria.
Not in the bush. In spring, Shauna, okay. So spring. Spring, yeah. When's spring for US?
April, May, now.
You have to excuse my ignorance when I ask about this stuff because I haven't checked up on all that.
Well, it's now. Spring's now.
In US. What
Yeah.
about Canada?
Same.
Okay.
They normally call it the thaw in Canada because everything's wet. The odd bit of snow still comes down. May, June are the best months. ARC Bully for president. All right, you've just been elected president, Bully. What's your first agenda? What would you plan to do to make America great again? I imagine RC Bully would ban all weapons in the United States. That'd be the first thing he would do. And insist that everyone wears a pink tutu.
We had to vote today.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Bully? The reason why America exists is they fought the British because they didn't want to pay King George any tax. No tax, Bully.
It keeps planning
But
to...
what happened? You do realise Americans pay more tax directly and indirectly than any other country.
I see what we make right. He plans to keep banning people everywhere he goes. He has a wrench and beg for a wrench wherever he has none. Well,
I don't see the point in a wrench myself. I'm not working for anyone. So RSC Bully asking for a wrench all the time means he's a perpetual slave. Boot that person, Bully. Block that person. Put that person in time out. Like a slave. Yes, taxation without representation. But it's global, Kathy. We all get taxed to death. And the big corporates get fatter. And the poorer get poorer. It's a form of slavery when you think about it.
back up from camera, you look like a killer seed.
You talking to me?
Man, we've got
Bully.
lag. Even I watch you this at 40 seconds lag.
You feeling lucky, punk? Well, are ya? Yes. My movie days are over, but in the 70s and 80s, in some movies you'll find me. But you'll never know, will you? Do you know, Bully, the last time I appeared on television, and I kid you not, I got paid $35,000 for 10 minutes. And I'm not lying, am I?
No,
It's true. That was probably
that's because
1999, my
it was
last
on-
appearance on television.
he was on a quiz show.
Yeah.
That was a good De Niro.
Actually, De Niro is quite funny. I think in real life he'd be a hoot to hang out with. Yes.
The US taxes citizens who have never worked or lived there and who work in other countries.
Yep. Do you know what really stinks about the US? It's how bad your tax system is. If there was $100 million lottery here, and that happens from time to time, and if I happen to win that 100 million, I pay no tax at all.
No, if we win, no, we don't.
Whereas the video says you'll never know, Bully. You just need to know that I wasn't lying.
It's probably in one of the boxes. It's actually another thing I have to actually transfer to digital because it's on the old.
I thought we threw that out years ago.
No, it's on the old. Well, I think I've still got it. It's on the old.
Gotta be peaceful
We-
is the feeling.
Hey, Adventure Unknown.
Yeah, man.
Dave,
Let me in, Dave.
it's so loud. You've got neighbours, you know. The video of Seeds winning that money is on the old-fashioned VHS cartridge thing. I have
That's
to
how long ago it was, see?
get it transferred onto digital.
It's actually tobacco. Hate to disappoint you. There you go.
That's not.
Just normal tobacco. We like rolling our own.
Yes, VMAC does work.
I don't think Bully's worked for a while. I think he's been retired. I knew Bully before he was Bully,
Yeah.
and Bully knows that. But I think he's been retired for quite a while now. You pay 55% tax on any lottery winning here.
We
That
don't.
sucks. We pay. This is how much tax we pay on lottery.
We don't. We don't
Zero.
pay tax on anything we win, but you obviously have to put that money in the bank. You earn interest.
Oh well, that's an
then
income.
you pay tax.
Yeah, we pay tax on our interest and some of our
Yeah,
investments.
we can win. Like the other week, we sometimes have lotteries that are 80 million. One person won it. One person. They pay no tax on that.
Yep, no tax.
Until
only,
they
only
start
on
earning
interest
interest.
earned in the bank. Oh, that's a good technicality, the VMAC. Because of the protection of an e-beggar, I suggest that Bully is part of the begging ring. You know, if it was a crime and in a court of law, Bully, you would be an accessory to the fact
Yeah.
of assisting an e-beggar. So, guilty by association? Let's take a vote in here. Type in 69 if you think
Oh,
Bully
go
is
away.
guilty
Friggin' type
of
in-
assisting an e-beggar.
friggin' type in 69.
I don't know
but
anyone
don't
named
forget-
Elvis.
Don't forget the thumbs up. Come on,
I
everybody.
don't give a fuck about the thumbs up.
Thumb up the video.
Ever seen Seeds do that? Oh look,
No,
I'll
no,
take
not seeds.
I'll
no.
take donations over $1,000. Why? Because that means I know people can afford to donate. I don't want someone to donate $1 because that might be their last dollar. So I only take, donations over 1,000 or 10,000 because I want to feel comfortable with the donation given from someone who can afford it.
Oh, yeah, same as us, VMAC. We don't pay tax on the winnings. It's once you bank it and earn interest, that's right.
Even at the casino, you could win, and we won, well, it wasn't a casino, it was just an RSL club, but won about $3,000 once out of a machine. There's no tax on that. There's not a little slip saying you've got to pay tax. It's all yours.
Huh? I don't understand what happened just then.
That sucks. That sucks. If you're willing to gamble, which we don't do very often, you're willing to lose all of it. It's not as if, let's say, you go down to a gaming club in the US and you lose 1,000. Can you go to the teller and say, "Can I have my 15% back in tax?"
Oh, hey, Janie.
It sucks.
I haven't seen you
But
for
no,
ages, Janie.
God knows why you allow those taxes to be part of anything to do with casinos or lotteries. No, Bully, you don't e-beg, but you associate yourself with one. And in a court of law, you would be called an associate e-beggar. You can't deny that. These are all facts. You do have a channel. It's called the RSA Bully. Now it's called The RSA bully. Wasn't always called the bully though, was the
No,
bully?
it wasn't.
But I find it,
Well, actually, everybody's got a channel. For goodness sake, if you're on YouTube, you have to have a channel so you can comment. You might not do anything on your channel, but you have a channel.
people have misunderstood what I've said for years. I hate e-beggars for a different reason than a lot of people do. For their own self-worth and esteem,
Yep, that's right, mate.
it boils down to that, well, Elvis is a great example, or Zia, is that all people do is give him little bits of money, 50 bucks, 100 bucks every now and then, and all it does is keep him bouncing along the bottom of society, because he doesn't have to take responsibility for his own life and expects people to provide for him. He lives to the standard of the donations given to him. So let's weigh up the consequences of 5 years of begging. He's still in a 30-year-old van. He's sick as a dog. He's morbidly obese. He's depressed all the time. And he's getting pennies from his viewers. So those people who donate to people like that don't help him at all. Because if it had helped him, what sort of life should he have now?
Oh, actually, they are helping. They're helping him to worsen his life, to make him
Well,
sicker.
keep him in poverty,
No, it's just to keep him for entertainment.
like a pet monkey. Just, like I say, if it was going to help somebody, and if I gave Zia $20,000 and thought that will change his life, I'd be wrong, because he'd just get fatter. I don't know about you, but I pop in every now and then and look at him physically. And you don't even have to go into his videos. Normally the little picture on a video of his head's like a watermelon now. I don't know what his cardiac system's like. I do know he's morbidly obese, and I know that he will have visceral fat all the way through his organs. And he looks about 55 to 60 years old. I'm 60. I look 60.
All right, take care,
But
Jamie.
he's 38, 37. He looks 55.
Yep, actually, big.
No, and I wouldn't give him money for one reason, Hammett, is that doesn't do him any good. Money is not his problem. People don't get that. It's his lifestyle. It's his perception of life and the entitlement. And it will destroy him. All this character Norm's doing, and I call Norm the Undertaker, because he is an undertaker. He's just waiting for someone like Zia to fall into a coffin. Because he's, you know, what do they call those people in America that feed people up, make them fatter and fatter? That's what Norm is. Whatever they're called. There's a name for them, I'm sure.
Oh, look, the whole thing.
But he's, you know, this is how big Zia was before Norm came along.
Oh, the whole
And
thing
that's how big he
just
is
a
now.
game.
That's it. He's getting bigger.
The whole thing is just a game. The whole thing is just pathetic. Pathetically stupid
Yeah,
what
I mean-
some people do.
We help people, but you'll never see it on here. I won't go to Leroy's channel and donate $100 through Super Chat.
Yeah, feeders. That's
Feeders,
it.
that's what I was thinking of.
Hey,
That's what Norm is, he's a feeder.
Mary. I couldn't read that properly.
Oh, Seeds isn't high. Maybe Seeds is high in life, but he's not high. I was 40,000 feet high
Oh,
recently.
go on, start the rumour for God's sake, bully.
Yeah, start the rumour, bully. You want some, bro?
You got to admit it.
Come
bully.
on, bro. Suck it in, bro.
Bully can be fun.
It's tobacco. Sorry to disappoint you.
Hi, Leroy. Is Leroy in the room? Oh, there you are, Leroy. Didn't
Hello,
see
Leroy.
you.
Very intelligent, very funny man. Hammers. I rank people on their intelligence. It's a guilt of mine. Hammers is a very intelligent man. Leroy is a very intelligent man. Bully wears a pink tutu and a 9mm.
Yeah, oh, Mary, someone asked Norm if he was a feeder. Yeah, actually, I do remember that name. We've watched those sort of people on
Yeah.
TV.
I think there's a very sad ending for Zia, and I pity that. It's very sad. I can see it clearly that there's a medical problem coming up rapidly. probably within this year.
Kathy,
Yeah.
you're going to spread that round, aren't you?
Bully likes pink tutus. All right, Bully, I'll give you the example of why I think some people are intelligent or not. You've just said Norm F is a great man.
Why is he a great man?
That's my question. Why is he a great man?
Oh, stop it, bully.
Bully likes a pink tutu. Shake that little tussie wearing a 9mm.
No one's saying you're a transgender, for goodness sake. We're just saying you look good in a pink tutu.
I can just see the new avatar coming up. And someone will do it, Bully. Pink tutu, 9mm gun with the word bully. Helps people that need it, all right? I'm glad you answered it that way, Bully. So why does he need help? Pertinent question, based off your answer.
Norm F
Why
helps
does he
people.
need help? Is he helpless?
He loves the negativity. Yeah, you're right, Mary.
Yep. I call Norm the Undertaker because he's feeding Zia to death. I haven't watched a lot. I watched one about a month ago where Zia was saying, I'm going to change my diet because I'm getting a bit crook. And I don't need to know any of the videos, but I would suggest he hasn't changed anything, has he? He said probably a warning sign from his body. And what's he doing about it? I guarantee nothing. Nothing changes until he has a cardiac arrest,
He's been
liver
doing-
failure.
Norm F obviously donates to everybody. All Norm F does is
Well-
help somebody so they don't go and get a job. Gives them money so they don't go do this. He enjoys the power, the control that he has over this giving the money to people.
Yeah, he's seeking attention himself. Well, lots of Americans need help.
As
My
lots-
answer is not true. Lots of Americans, like Australians and everyone else around the world, might need guidance or maybe someone to help them from their knees to their feet. But Bully, if you're going to keep walking for them,
Yeah, that's right, Mary.
that's it. You have just made a rod for your own back.
And the RC bully likes this sort of niggle, pinch, push,
Oh,
comments.
yeah.
Try and get to you, everyone.
Yes, that's the difference, Leroy. See the intelligence factor kicks in here? You're dead right. It's not that they need help. They want it. A bit of candy. Oh, I'll have another piece of candy. This guy keeps giving candy away. But, Bully, one of the things I'm sure you're more aware of than most, because you live in there, associate of an e-beggar, and you notice the words that are always used by him, because people say things that are opposite, like, if you love me, show your love. Generally, when people say things like that, there is no love in their life at all. They're craving it, attention, someone to look after them. And the best love you can give people like that is nothing. Until people fall,
True,
hit
very
rock
much.
bottom, the only way they can go then is up. If you keep them bouncing along the bottom and they become morbidly obese, their health deteriorates to the extent they get admitted to hospital or die, you've been an associate to an undertaker. People don't like to hear that.
Oh, yes, that's right, Mary. All on crap. I just don't feel sorry for anyone or have the patience or time when you've tried to help someone, not with monetary, but with advice, and they've asked for it, so you give it. They're just full of shit. They hear what they want to hear, and they ask what they want to ask.
Well, I mean, if money could fix the problems of some people, it should be fixed by now.
Look, you don't want to see anyone hit rock bottom, but if people don't listen to you when you try and help them, and they just go on in their merry, stupid little way. They have to hit rock bottom to look up to get themselves out of the damn hole that they've put themselves in. No one else has put them in there. They have put themselves in there. They have to get themselves out. And there are hands helping to lift them up to their feet, then they can go walk. But people keep giving him shit. He's just in a deeper hole. It's as simple as
Well,
that.
like I say, if all of these donations were working, why is he in a 30-year-old van, sleeping in car parks, eating shit, and getting morbidly obese? So what people are doing at the moment is not helping him, they're killing him. And it's very sad. And the metaphor of reaching rock bottom, Bully, is becoming self-aware, a realization that sinks in that I need to do the lifting myself.
You know what, Mary? Even when he hits rock bottom, he's never going to help himself. There are just some people in the world, and you've got to face the fact. There's nothing that can be done for them. They don't want help. They can't be helped.
Bully,
It's as
I'll give you
simple as
the greatest example. I'll give Zia $20,000, and within 1 year, if he's still doing what he's doing, you have to pay me $50,000. Are you willing to take that? I'll have the lawyer draft it. We'll get the $20,000 to Zia, and within 12 months, if he's doing exactly what he's doing now, you owe me $50,000. Are you a man of your word? Will you stand up and sign the contract?
No, you're probably right. There are people who probably will never hit rock bottom because you've constantly got enablers that keep him afloat to a certain point. But 90% of people need to hit rock bottom that are in that situation before they'll wake up.
Rock bottom means a metaphor. In other words, there's no lower I can go. My health can't get worse. I can't get to the point of even getting up without puffing and panting. I'm having all these attacks on my body, and I'm living in poverty. Like I say, if money was the answer, Bully, he should be fixed by now. Don't you get it? All people do is send peanuts to him, and he lives in perpetual poverty. No, you need Elvis to keep going so you can have a monkey to play with,
Yeah,
Bully.
exactly. That's all
You want him for. And if Elvis died tomorrow,
You'd find
Bully
someone
would
else.
find someone else like Elvis.
Oh, you hear the train?
Yeah, you did right. People that offer superficial help to people, that's all it is.
But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's a game to them. Sometimes, again, it's people have pleasure in seeing the misery.
Yeah, you're right, Hammers. That's all I see, sadly. His health will deteriorate rapidly now. Because I only pop back every now and then, I swear to you, his head is like a watermelon. There's something seriously wrong with him, physically.
I mean, come on, Bully, you've got to admit that it's when I sometimes pop in there and he goes on. There's no words to describe that man.
Yeah, they do, Mary. They all do. Even Bully does, believe it or not.
He lies. He tells bullshit. Can't get anything straight. Doesn't go look for facts before he starts saying things.
No, he doesn't have any friends, Mary, at all. There are no friends of Elvis.
And half of what Elvis bloody does is a total show. It is an act. I didn't say 100%.
Good morning, 64. How are you?
Half of it is an act.
Well, it's a tool. What he does is to garnish funds. And he's always after new people because the old people figure him out.
Yeah. I don't understand all that, Leroy. I don't understand how he's even going to Canada. I don't understand how he's capable of going to Canada. Has he got his paperwork in order? You cannot just... I mean, I've never been to Canada, but I presume I've seen enough and heard enough people what people say. You can't just drive into Canada. Tell me, VMAC or whoever who's in Canada, there's restrictions, isn't there? There's things you have to do. You can't just drive in there.
Well, we can, because we're part of the Commonwealth, as is Canada, so we have no problem going to Canada.
Yeah, but we still got to have.
I don't need a visa to go to Canada.
No, but we still got to have a passport. We still have
Yeah.
to get checked at the border and all that sort of stuff. What are you doing here? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So he's got a passport now. So last I heard, he didn't have a passport. So obviously Normeth or the RC Bully has paid for his passport, have they?
No, you don't need to pay taxes to get a passport. You just need money.
Yeah, it's in Australia you can get a passport even if you don't have a job.
But what Australia does, and Canada does the same thing, if, say, VMAC landed in Australia with, say, $500, well, and she'd say, I want to stay here for a month. Unless we sponsored her and said, no, we'll take care of her accommodation and we'll feed her, then they'd say, yeah, you can come into the country. But if VMAC said I wanted to stay a month in Australia with $500, they'd put her back on the plane to Canada, because it wouldn't be enough money.
I mean,
That's how they do it in Australia.
The whole situation of not even having met the person somewhere neutral, or even, well, I don't know, maybe he has Skyped him, maybe he has seen his face, I don't know. To actually go to another country like that, I don't know. Just with my intuition, something's not right with the whole story. That's all I can say. That's what I'm feeling. Something's not right with the whole story.
I always find it funny when a bully just put something in about someone can't afford a B-class camper. It's a recreational vehicle in Australia. People use it for recreation, like go away for a few weeks. Then they park it in the garage for 12 months. We don't have a
I get you.
we don't have a B-class camper, but we do have business class seats on a Boeing A380.
I understand what you're saying, Kathy, yeah.
Who's jealous? I mean...
Oh my God, you're kidding. Jealous of the Lisa Marie? You are joking, aren't you?
Yeah, he is. He's prodding.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
It is so insignificant, someone owning a cargo van, because our RVs do have to have a shower and a toilet. So he only has a cargo van and plastic bags to poop in. That's not a recreational vehicle at all. It's a van. So, bully, I'm sure people can afford to get a van with no toilet or no shitter.
Okay, well, I say, Bully, you buy him a new van.
Seats on the plane are really good.
I say, Bully, you buy him a new van. I mean, Normeth's doing all this. He's a great man. He's bought him this. He's going to Canada. So, to help Normeth out, how about you buy Elvis a new van?
Yeah, right.
Oh, dear.
But the money is not the issue, bully. If money could solve the problem, it should be solved. You want to see my car?
Yeah, we've got a car with a four-door. It's got 4 wheels.
Can you see that?
Engine.
Bully can't see much.
I mean, okay, I said, Bully, show us your car. Where's your
That's
car?
okay.
I'm just going to go to your channel. I'll find your videos and we'll have a video. RC
No, bully, it's not a Class B. I want you to go and Google Class B and the word camper, and then get back to me. You just made a false statement. A van with no toilet or shower in the United States is called a cargo van.
Oh, it sounds nice, VMAC.
Go and have a look. Give your time. Take your time. And strangely enough, in Australia they're called cargo vans if they've got no shower or dunny.
Hang on, just go to RC Bully's channel. He's got a video about his car.
I can't be bothered at the moment.
I'm just kidding. Oh, dear. It's sometimes good to have a good debate.
Yeah, no bathroom. It's a cargo van.
It's an RV, yeah.
What kind of car is it? It's a BMW, and the ashtrays are full, bully. What am I going to do?
No, it's a...
Will you donate money to buy me a new... What's the new BMW? I want a BMW off-roader. 180 grand.
No, it's not.
Bully, do you think you can raise the money for me?
It's not a BMW. It's a Volvo. No, just kidding. Oh, dear. Next question.
I can go and light a fire down the beach, throw a blanket on the sand, and I'll be happy. My wife
No.
will be 300 yards up the beach in a
Yep.
5-star hotel.
Yeah, I don't want sand in crevices that shouldn't have sand in them.
Well, you know, the sad part, Hammers, is that all he does is park between white lines. He's a car park king.
Yep, and hammered and next.
That's it. I don't know why he doesn't get a job pushing trolleys, like that guy off Trailer Park. Bubbles.
Yeah.
Push trolleys.
Next will be US and Canada, hammered.
I've probably owned about 3 or 4 recreational vehicles in my life. I've built 2 of them myself. And the point of the whole exercise is that they were for fun, to go away with for a few weeks. G'day, JP.
Hey, JP.
I just, for the life of me, poverty is what it is, and some people have to sleep in their car. When I was a young man, I slept in an old Toyota Crown for about a year.
Oh, Trailer Park Boys, Leroy, we love that show.
Dum, da, 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 dum, da, da. Actually, that's a bit like YouTube, isn't it?
I love that show.
Ah, VMAC, when you're trying to justify the unjustifiable, you come up with little quirky things.
He's just trying to get a bite.
I've been invited to go to Chicago, and you might be surprised, Bully, who wants to catch up and have lunch with us and spend a day showing us around. Who do you think that might be, Bully? In Chicago. There's 2 people actually, but one may surprise you. Could look after us, treat us like a king. Who would that be, Bully? Any idea? You got it, Coates. Standing offer for me and my wife. There you go, Bully. You'll treat us like a king. Most people, Bully, believe it or not, and you're probably one of them, you just don't like to admit it, are good people. You'll meet me in Chicago. Well, I'll meet you. I'm not scared of anyone. If you need to come and shake my hand, make sure you bring a step ladder. Bully, that's all I can tell you. You don't have to wear the pink tutu, though.
Oh, yeah.
No, he doesn't have to wear the pink tutu.
How much do you make per year, Bully?
Well, he's retired, so he'll be on a limited income. He's probably got Amazon shares. There you go, and spread that rumour. Berg gave Bully all his Amazon shares. It's loaded now.
So, do you work, Bully? Do you own a car, Bully? What sort of car do you have? Is there a video of it on your channel?
Bully is, unfortunately, because I know Bully's history, he's not 100% physically right. Not mentally, he's probably mentally right, but physically he has issues. So he's limited in where and what he can do. How would I know that, Bully? I think it would change his aspect on life, Kathy, myself. It would sort of bring out the peacefulness. Pink brings out passiveness in people.
Pink. And red brings out love. So, yeah.
But there's one thing that life is, Bully, and this is free advice, even though you're nearly as old as me. You have to live it on your own terms, not through other people. Do you know what I mean? If you can live your life through your own eyes and not through vicariously other people's lives, you have a life well lived. Well, I'm glad you work, Bully. That means you can afford maybe a new iPad every now and then.
Okay, alright. I will subscribe to your channel, Bully, and I'll be looking forward to those videos. And make a video of your car.
And then maybe you could do a few live hangouts and give me a wrench.
And do some live hangouts, yep, and I'll have a wrench as well, please. Actually, I'll have a spanner.
Oh dear.
I would like a purple spanner, please.
Yeah, that's true, VMAC. There are so many millionaires on the bottom of YouTube, it's staggering. It's like a gentleman's club. Just that some of the gentlemen wear wigs.
Stop it.
You got that one, Hammers. And it's not a way to live your life. It's like having an idol, like a movie star you really love and admire. You can't live your life through them. You can enjoy what they do, but you can't like be the little sidekick. You can't be the Robin to a Batman. There's only one Batman. Do you know what I mean? So you got to live your own life.
Oh, it's cold here, Johnny. It is.
I see a buddy who works in corporate America. Well, they do tell me that door greeters at Walmart work for a corporate company.
Yeah, it's cold here too. It's like 6 degrees.
Bully, I don't care where you work. Really, I don't. It's of no significance to me at all. I don't care if JP is a multi-millionaire, which he is. It doesn't bother me at all. I'll
And a
still
pole
shake his
dancer.
hand and have a beer with him.
And a pole dancer.
And a pole dancer living on the Gold Coast. But it's irrelevant. Generally, people who talk about their prowess, guess what I'm saying? A little play on words. Prowess in sexual endeavours have nothing to offer. If they have to advertise that hard, there's very little in the bank, if you know what I mean. And people who talk about their money, well, it's probably the same.
But then again, it's over you've got people too that have lots of money and choose to live as a homeless person.
That's right. Generally, when JP shakes his hand, he's still in their credit card. That's how he makes his money. Oh, I get it. It's irrelevant. The real value of a person is what they do, not what they say. In other words, I've got this and I've got that. I could, if I wanted to. Me and my wife could go out tomorrow and buy a new car. But I don't give a crap about cars, I'll be honest with you. I just go from A to B. Nice old car we got, runs beautifully, mechanically perfect. Do I need a $100,000 car?
No.
Not really. That's the biggest form of monetary of anything, Kathy, is kindness. It has more value than money ever will. Exactly. Absolutely, Hammers. And if someone's not well off, it's irrelevant to me.
It's alright, I'm just packing my bags. I'm going to VMAC.
What? She's like,
She's living in a mansion. She's got a helicopter pad and a butler. Do you have a pool man? If you got a pool man, I'm there.
fine. I'm going to get myself a pool girl. How's your hair going, Bully? We're about the same age. Have you got any hair left, Bully?
That's scary. Oh my god, that's scary. Oh, put right on there.
That guy's wearing a pink tutu.
Nobody's kind to the art. Wait, look, you're the one who started it. You're the one who's prodding.
No, we're taking a bit of the piss out of you, Bully, but you're really not as... The name doesn't suggest who the character is.
That's all right. I'll bring seeds. He can be the chef. Then you'll have a chef, Kathy.
Yeah, I can cook.
So I'll have to bring in VMAC. So we've got a chef.
Maybe I can wax the pool boy for you. We're not the same age. I work. I work, Bully.
We work from home. So you want to call our boss? Call me or call Seeds?
Yeah. The ROC comes from a long way time ago,
Yes, I know.
and bully is just the attachment to what he first started off using on the internet. But bully's been around a long time in different forms. He's metamorphosized.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Kathy. Yep, remake.
All done. Cut the sex, mate. The price of tobacco in this country, I just bought a packet for $84. I can buy in Europe for about $8. We get screwed here.
What time is it? It's probably too late for a coffee, yes. I'll be up.
That's right, IRC. The old black screen with the green text. Do you remember that? Bully does. Now what you're doing, Bully, is getting a few jollies out of having a little bit of power, timing people out and booting them.
Yeah, it's actually annoying.
That's the only reason you're there.
There's no freedom of speech.
You don't like Zia.
There's no freedom of speech in doing any of that.
10% battery power.
That annoys me.
Yeah, you're not there to support him at all. You're there for your own little jollies, which is okay.
Oh, but you
That's
think-
what you do.
I was going to take your phone and just show I See Boy our mansion, but
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah. It's sort of like, say, when you associate yourself with someone like that, there's two reasons you do it. One, you're either like that yourself, or you just like a little bit of power, a little bit of control. Generally those sort of people, like I said before, about people talking about their sexual prowess, really have nothing to sell. So this is the power base the bully has. He can delete you, or time you out.
I
Bit of
will
power.
have to give in to my desires.
Are we having a cuppa?
Yeah.
Right, the missus making a cuppa. Who wants one? Bully will have a cup of lemon with no sugar.
I'm taking my phone with me so I can read your comments, boy, because
I'm doing my job. Oh, so a job means you're working for someone, Bully. So you're like a corporate slave to someone. Is that what you're saying? Your job. Really? Yeah. So, truth be known, is that even Bully comes in here and asks for a wrench, which you don't need one. Not going to get booted, Bully. Because we all know you're really just a softie who wants to wear a pink tutu and show his 9mm. Well, yeah, no, VMAC, I think it's a lot more obvious than that. It's not that. I mean, Bully, when I do go in there from time to time, which hasn't been a long time, he won't boot me. And he doesn't boot a lot of people. But he does like to get those people who piss him off and time them out and stuff like that. So that's his little control run. That's it. That's all it is. A bit of power and control, which is not really much power, really, in the big picture of life. There's a difference between the word hate and constructive criticism, Bully. Do you know the difference between those two? If someone says you should better yourself by not eating that shitty food and get a job and do something for yourself, that's not hate, Bully. You understand? And you're not really helping him. You're only there for your own jollies. Yep. And truth, even in my life, I've had people you know, said to me, blah, 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 and I'm thinking, fuck, they're right. I fucked up there. And you can take it on board or you can just ignore it. But generally, most people who take the time, Hammers, to give some sort of constructive criticism don't do it because they don't hate you. They probably do it because they like you. They may turn to hate you in the end if you just keep being an arsehole, but people do offer criticism or constructive values to people to help them. Like I said, if money was the answer, he wouldn't be living in abject poverty on the bordering of a major calamity with his body based on the fact this money hasn't helped at all. But if you're going to support bad behaviour, well, you associate yourself with that. Do you know what I mean? If you know someone who killed another person and you associate yourself with them, you are an associate to a murderer. And in a court of law, you will be tried as such. And in a societal system, if you support someone who has bad behaviour, bully, you are basically painted in the same picture as that bad person. Which is sad because you're probably not a bad person at all. He's not hated, bully. That's the bit you miss. I don't hate him. Hammers doesn't hate him. VMAC doesn't hate him. They just pity the fool. They haven't got the gold chain or the bald head. It's a great saying. I pity the fool. It's okay to make mistakes in life. It really is. It's when you keep repeating them that your life's not going to go anywhere. And all he's done is repeat the same mistakes. And with people supporting him in his bad behaviour, and he keeps getting told by you, bully, how good he is, he just keeps living in abject poverty. Just imagine if you were single. If you were single and about 30 odd years of age, working, can you imagine how much money you would have? How you could travel the world, go to amazing places, eat amazing foods. I rarely watch now, bully, by the way. I generally come to see what you're doing. But it's his life. He chooses to ignore the obvious, gets supported by people who keep the belief in him to keep doing what he's doing, when most people like Bully live in a house and have a shower and a fridge, food, had a pretty good life, and they support someone who's living in abject poverty, morbidly obese. Not really an equilibrium, is there? I mean, Bully lives quite well and comfortably, can turn a light switch on and off, go to a toilet. But the person he supports shits in a bag, is morbidly obese.
Got to wait for the kettle
What happened?
to
He got
boil.
kicked out of
come on,
Dunkin' Donuts.
How bloody disgusting is that? Shitting in a bag in the van.
Well,
I
JP
mean-
just said he got booted out of a donut place. I guess was he filming women when he shouldn't be, or something like that? I'm just guessing.
He was kicked out of a Dunkin'. I thought that was Dunkin' Donuts. How come, JP?
I mean, the obvious thing I could say to you, Bully, is that parked outside your house tomorrow morning is an old 30-year-old van, no toilet, no shower, mechanically a bit dodgy.
Mm.
And I say, I've just filled up the tank for you. The vehicle's yours, Bully. I want you now to go and live in it
No,
full time.
there is nothing
Would
wrong.
you do it?
There is nothing wrong with a 30-year-old vehicle of any sort if you've looked after it and haven't destroyed it.
Well, any time I have watched, all I hear is a rattle. Blinds are asking for. Oh, I see. Well, I know in most states in America you can't go into any private enterprise and beg for money. Can't do it. It's illegal.
Oh, well, see, okay. What have you got to say about what just happened to him, Bully? Like, he deserved that. He shouldn't have been doing that.
Well, he doesn't want the free offer of a 30-year-old vehicle and to live in it. So you wouldn't live like him. That's interesting.
Kathy.
I wouldn't wish that life upon anyone. Through circumstances and people's poverty, it does happen. But when people do it by choice, it's totally different. He could get a job. He could build up his self-esteem. And he could have money. He had a job for what, 6 weeks in a truck? Then he quit? Really?
Some people just like to find the easy way out, and that's expecting everyone else to help them. And then you've got the people
It's not
who
very
like...
nice, Bully. You don't know what Kathy looks like. You're making a presumption and you're being rather mean. Should I put you in a timeout? Should I send you to the corner?
Yeah, now if someone else did make comments like that, you'd ban them and time them out, wouldn't you, Bully?
Yeah, so JP's got a wrench,
Yep.
so you've just been warned, Bully.
Exactly, so apologise, please.
No need for that sort of stuff. Yeah, all he did there, VMAT, was pull out the short straw. Just, you know, a little verbal attack. For no real reason at all, other than wanting to get a reaction. And Kathy just stitched you up. Big time then.
Huh? Right?
Does it matter if people are short, tall,
Yeah, but-
skinny,
Oh,
fat?
I mean, a tutu. Talking about a tutu, for God's sake. What you said wasn't very nice. And what you just said actually sounds something stupid like Skiwi says.
No, that's not JP. Certainly not.
VMAT.
JP, the wife made German pancakes today. They were yum, which is little flour tortillas, if you like. And they're cooled, and then she mixes up raw mince and onion and what else?
Oh,
You can tell.
uh,
You didn't do a video either, did you?
it's on your channel how I make the
It's on yours.
pancakes. And mine, yeah. Just stuffed pancakes, potato salad. Yes, that's true, VMAT. You sound a bit like a child. Exactly. All Kathy was talking about was a damn tutu. That's all she said. We all were saying it as a joke, a tutu. Sid said he dressed up as a woman himself once, and I've got it on video somewhere.
It's true.
Wow, that's like 50, 40 seconds of lag we have.
Yeah.
Look, I gave in. I made a coffee. Here, RC, you need some coffee. Oh, you know the ad we have here, JP in Australia, that Snickers one, when someone gets aggressive, it's because they need a Snickers bar. I think we should send a whole box load of Snicker bars to RC Bully.
Snicker butts.
Snicker bars. I'll have to put my, yeah, I know, coffee at 11, I know. No, it actually doesn't keep me awake, it just makes me pee a lot. Yes, there's heaps of lag, I know, there's like 40 seconds of lag or so. No, I just pee a lot. It doesn't affect my sleep. That was an interesting conversation, wasn't it? Telling you that how I pee a lot after having coffee late at night. I'm sure you all wanted to know that.
And she pees a lot. Oh, I like chili. See, you should be doing videos of cooking chili. I've done one recently, actually, buddy.
Well, there you go, there's another video you can put up.
The thing is, a lot of people say, I don't want to be on camera. Well, you don't have to be on camera.
I can't drink it for hours before bed.
All right, VMAC, have a good one.
See you, VMAC. Have fun.
Yeah. Bully, you can do a video of you making the chili and never show your face. Don't need to take off your wig or your tutu. Just keep the camera on the food.
Well, sometimes I wonder why people worry about being on camera or having their photo taken, but sometimes I can be like that. I don't want to be on camera, or no, that's not a good look, don't take that photo. But
I don't care what people are like. It's never bother me.
50% of the time it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you should do some cooking videos. You can start off your videos with a 9mm Ruger on the table next to the ingredients. Yeah, that'd be a sort of a, that'll pull the crowd in, Bully. And then make whatever you're making, like in this case your chili. And just before you dish it up, fire into the pan. You'll get heaps of views, mate. You can title a new channel, Bully in the Kitchen.
What's not true? I've lost the conversation.
Not sure.
Oh, has RC Bully given money to Elvis? Have you, Bully? Have you given money to Elvis?
Yes, he has. Yeah, Glock's all right. Didn't know I knew that, did you?
No what?
How to use a Glock. Don't forget to take, you know, you're going to have it loaded, you're going to take the little clip off. Wow.
Oh, Elvis has given him money. Oh, okay, Hammond, I got it now. No, Elvis hasn't given anyone. Oh, yes, he did, sorry. As we call it, shrapnel. You know, loose change. Didn't Elvis give like $1 or something once to a homeless guy?
Actually, it was funny. I remember
$2.
about a couple of years ago, Bully would remember this one. Remember, Bully, when that old, well, not old guy, it was like half African-American guy was at the back of Zia's van. And he said, I'm going to give him some change. And gave the guy some change. And then the guy said, who fucked up the window with all that shit on it? That was funny.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I mean, he can't even change his own tyres or fix anything. He tried to lie on me. Who lied on you?
Who lied on you?
Well, what normally happens every 6 to 8 bullies, of course, is that you're going to lose your wrench again shortly. You know what I mean? Game plays. Yeah, I remember that was funny. And then the bum turned around and said, "Who
Yeah,
did that
that's-
shit job on your window?"
That's it, Hamid. That's the
That was
one
funny.
I saw, yeah. And that's about the only time he's given anyone anything. I know he gave Rosie $10 once, the other month.
But that's life. You're going to have people do all sorts of different things. I don't think Eggerson's ever lied about you, bully.
Oh,
The thing is that the truth sometimes hurts. You might like to think that it's not true and call someone a liar, but if it's the truth, it's the truth. Most people know, you know, if they've buggered up and people call them out and those people don't like it, and if they happen to have a wrench, well, they just, you know, quell the truth, hide the truth. But if you're going to live life, live it through your own eyes, not through someone else. Don't do the vicarious living. Certainly not through people that aren't worthy.
oh, good things is all right to see through other people's eyes, like travel. Some people can't travel, so
Yeah.
it's nice to watch people's
Yep. I had quite a few
adventures.
emails from people that just said, "I really like the travels you and the missus did recently," and
Because they can't travel. That's,
they said I couldn't travel anyway because I'm incapable physically to do it. So they enjoyed it. See, that's a presumption, bully. Eggerson probably doesn't work, and the fact is, I know he works.
saying things
I've
like
seen him working.
saying things like, I mean, I've been guilty of saying things like that, but it's wrong. If you don't know, don't say it.
So I can guarantee you, bully, that Hammers does work. And Hammers, I've seen help homeless people. Yeah. You didn't know that, did you, bully?
Let's have a look. How many thumbs up have you got? Oh, 4 thumbs up. Come on, people. I love stirring you about that.
Chicago. Why don't you come to Australia, bully? Come to Australia. Have you got a passport? The truth is, places like Chicago, and I'm not knocking Chicago, like any major city around the world, they're practically the same. That's what we've noticed all around the world, isn't it? Most big cities, they're the same wherever you go.
Yes.
Yep. One thing I'm unfortunately cursed with, Hammers, is an impeccable photogenic memory. I remember the night, how cold it was, how the guy, eventually, you let sleep on the couch. If not, he would have slept in the cold. And like I say, having that photogenic memory is a curse.
Or
It's not a blessing, by the way.
Just remembering things. People don't realise actually how long we have been on YouTube, do they?
No.
People think that we've only been on a couple of years. We haven't.
I generally will sit, look and learn. In other words, don't speak as much as you learn,
We were watching
as you watch.
YouTube before we even created channels.
Mhm.
That's when we realised you have to have a channel to be able to comment on people's videos. So,
It's a lot easier, though, that I believe, to be yourself
exactly, that's what I keep
than
saying.
to be something you're not. Pretending to be someone, maybe authoritarian or a pretend leader of a community. When in fact, if you just be yourself, you're going to get more people, come up and talk to you and actually enjoy life. Living a life just to be mean to other people doesn't mean you've got a very good life. But tomorrow morning, JP, bacon and eggs.
And we have frost tomorrow morning.
Why do you need a wrench,
Look.
Bully? You're not under any threat at all.
You're not getting a wrench.
You don't need a bulletproof vest in my channel.
So, do we get a wrench when we when you do live chats?
Oh, he won't do live chats. Doesn't want his voice to be heard. Just his presence felt.
Oh my God, you sound so. That was really deep just then.
Mm.
God. Philosophical. How do you say it?
Yeah, what you said.
Kathy. Philosophical.
Here's a good question for Bully, and I don't mean this to be derogatory at all. I really don't, Bully. But you've been on media, social media, for a very long time. How many people that you've met online have you met in real life? It's a straightforward question. It's not meant to put you under pressure. It would indicate that being insecure in not meeting people online. I mean, let's be honest, Bully. You live in Chicago. The person that you associate with, you've never met. And he's round the corner, Bully. Just round the corner.
Yeah, why don't you go have a cuppa with him?
It's a good question, isn't it? You live in Chicago, you support a character on YouTube, but you won't meet him.
Yeah, actually, when JP never said that. Where?
I think you'll probably find that JP said, I warn you for your behaviour in speaking badly about Kathy's upper body.
Whereabouts are you Hamid again? Where's Hamid?
Hammers is in Canada.
Canada, that's right.
That's what I mean. Well, your behaviour warranted JP warning you not to be derogatory to Kathy. Just like you do, Bully, telling people not to be derogatory to Zia. Will you put them in time out? What's the difference? I see is busy. Oh, you're busy. But you said you'd meet me. I'm 20,000 kilometres away.
What do you mean?
Busy working. Well, no, the weekend you don't work, Bully.
You don't work 24/7, so go have a cuppa with Zia, and they put it on video.
Yeah, I mean, you support the guy. Buy him a steak dinner.
Oh God, bloody buy steak dinner. Oh, well, we should be able to. Oh, we can come and visit you. We've got other
Yeah,
people
could do.
in Alberto, Hamid, that we want to go visit.
What's the name of where Roberta lives? Something
That's
Bay. Something Bay?
Yeah.
It's not Coffin Bay, it's something like
no,
that.
no. They're both the girls. Somewhere in Canada.
Yeah. Now, Bully, if you need an Uber to go and see
I'll tell you.
Hammers, we've got friends
We've got friends.
in Alberta, and one
somewhere.
lives somewhere called something Bay. I forget what it was. I thought it was Coffin Bay, but it's not Coffin Bay. Something Bay. But yeah, Bully, I'll pay for the Uber to get you from where you are to Zia. You have a coffee with him and show your support. Show your love. Hmm? Why aren't you willing to commit to that? Oh, Canada, I imagine, is beautiful. We've got family in Canada, but I know, just on what I've seen on film, how beautiful Canada
Hey,
is.
awesome.
Hello, awesome.
How far is Nova Scotia from you, Hamid? Prince Edward Island. That's not where one
Nova
of the...
Scotia.
I don't know how to say it. Sorry, I apologise.
Canada's huge.
Prince Edward Island. Is that where one of the girls live?
No.
Well, have a cup of tea then, or a glass of lemonade, for God's sake.
Who?
Oh, Bully says he doesn't drink coffee. Then go have a tea or a lemonade. Man, I think we'll have to spend 2 months over there if we want to. All these places in Canada I want to go to now.
That's the temperature here in Fahrenheit.
444. That's what it looks like.
That's cold. Do you owe back child support?
Oh my God, what a stupid question.
Well, my youngest child is 34, so the answer is probably no. I've got children over 40 years of age.
I too are.
I mean, there's places I want to go in Canada for sure, but one of the places I do want to go, because I love architecture, is Quebec, without question.
Oh, he's just pushing buttons, Johnny. That's all he's doing.
So without giving away the person, Hooker, is our friend doing okay? Okay, that's not good.
Email. Oh, I've got to add your phone number. We can ring you. Oh, you said you sent your phone number, didn't you? Awesome. See the inside of the house. Who are you talking to, Bully? Oh, okay. So you sent your phone number to
This is the old cottage,
to see the
just for you,
email?
Bully. It's got a bit of a veranda on it. And out there,
Yeah, Vancouver. I want to go to.
well, it's not built yet, but there's an extension. A big extension. But I'll show you through the old
Okay.
house.
And
Got to
then-
turn this around, I think, don't I? There we go. There's Bully's girlfriend. How you going, Bully? All right?
It's all right if Bully wouldn't make stupid comments.
He thinks we're going to have shit on the floor. There's a dunny in there. You know, a toilet. You probably don't need... Oh, you want to have a look, Bully? There you go.
I got to plug my phone in.
There's the laundry. Pretty good sized laundry.
Look, and we live
Washing
together.
machine.
We live together.
Yeah.
We're in the same house.
Yeah.
Before he asked the question that we're obviously not together.
Yeah, no, they're going to get paved up shortly, actually. We're getting around it. I've started, Leroy. I've started.
We're waiting for you to come
All,
over, Leroy.
all this is disappearing.
Oh my God, dishes.
Yeah, cleaned.
No, don't show Bully that.
Yeah. All this is going. All the way from the top, all the way across there. There's going to be a bloody big hole through there.
And don't show them the top drawer in the bedroom either.
Why? Is there something I should know about? We have electricity, Bully. There's the fridge. What have we got in here? Oh, prawns. Spring rolls. Vegetables. All sorts of things. Bit of homemade soup. Don't even know what's in the fridge. All sorts of stuff. Beer, orange juice, milk. Probably stuff you've got in your fridge, Bully. You know what I mean? Weird, but probably the same stuff as you've got. But all this is getting changed in here.
What are you destroying?
No, that just fell off. I'll get you to put that back on. This is one of the spare rooms, which is usually occupied by one or two of our grandkids at any given time.
There. Put it,
They're
in your,
king single beds.
put it in your pocket.
That's a good idea.
Oh, don't show them the clothes hanging either. Gee.
Boom, boom, boom. This is a bathroom that we have renovated. This didn't have any shower screen, but we've put a shower screen in there. That's the vanity. Nice taps. Woohoo! What am I showing? Oh yeah, we'll show that too in a second. This has all been renovated since we moved in. But that's just a bathroom. I've got to show Awesome something apparently. This is just for you, Awesome. The wife said to show you. She's cruel, isn't she?
And the cute little chocolate biscuits in the lounge room.
Righto. This is a spare bedroom that we're using at the moment till the renovations are finished. Can't see a damn thing. So, pretty normal. Just
Oh my God, you've
nice
showed-
bit of antique
showed
furniture.
And the bed's not made.
Top drawer, apparently. Only got my shorts in there. There's nothing vibrating at all. Jewellery cabinet. Wouldn't you like to know what's in there?
Nothing.
Yeah, we don't have to tell them that though.
There's nothing in there.
We've got reverse cycle air conditioning in all the rooms. This is the front lounge, which will be used mainly for our grandkids. Because they're not going to take over the whole house, but they can have this room.
Look at these, Awesome.
What do you got there?
These little biscuits.
Sure.
Look how little these biscuits are. You see it?
It's chocolate.
Look how little that is.
They're from Germany. They're gone now. And that's a 10-inch television. No, it's 55-inch actually. But this will be the kids' room. Yeah, so, and this nice leather lounge that I picked up, beautiful leather actually, got it from a second-hand shop, 150 bucks. It's going on the back patio when we finished. There's the Mrs. Wine rack. It's looking a bit low. Is that all the wine you got left?
Yeah.
Oh dear. That'll be run out in a couple of days. So it's not very big, like say this cottage. We had a choice of knocking it down, but we had it all checked out and the guy said you'd be mad to knock it down, just add to it.
So Hammond's got to make a list up.
Of,
So all this, what you've been writing, Hammond, you're going to take us to it when we come visit?
oh, okay. You're making another cuppa.
No.
Sure.
No, because I'll...
Yeah, so this will be, over here will be my office. There'll be a big dining room over here. Where I'm now will be a big island kitchen. Then there'll be a big lounge and 2 big bedrooms with en-suites, and a big patio, and the JP swimming pool. See where that shed is over there? Just over there will be the JP wing, swimming away. Yeah, it was too good to knock down, basically. To rebuild something like that, just the cottage itself probably cost about 160, 170 grand. So we thought we'd get the engineers in and they said you'd be mad to knock it down. So right here, this big wall, that's coming out and we're going to get Jarrah floorboards. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, JP, but big wide Jarrah floorboards all through the kitchen, all through the house, going out the back to a back patio, which will have floorboards as well. So yeah, this will be our last home. I've built a couple, and I'm not building this one. I'm helping. Like over there, I've purchased. Can't really see them. See the little shed with the blue tarp? Under there are 3 1940 Art Deco, like these windows. You know, the sash windows you lift up. But that's keeping in tune with the windows we've already got in this house. So that's why we're doing it. We've got some beautiful... my house is always clean because my wife is fastidious. Yeah, I don't like fake floorboards. I'll be honest with you, it's a big expense to put Jarrah floorboards down, but it's well worth it in the end. Yeah, I'll show you one day, but those windows, they've got all that LED light and fancy, and in the middle of each window there's like a opaque lens at the top. So, and they were pretty cheap. They're a Jarrah frame, and they're good 10 feet long by 5 feet high, so a big window, centerpiece, and then 2 sash windows either side. And I bought them for $300 each. And that might sound like a lot of money, but trust me, that is so cheap. What the floor there? What is there is the old, basically 3B1 floorboards in any like old cottage, JP. And what I've got to do is we're going to rip up the floor, and I think I've got to realign the joist, because when you lay timber floorboards, you've got to go across at 90 degrees. So I might have to, what they call, trim joists all through the kitchen area that we're doing to let it flow. Because when you walk out of the kitchen will come way out here. There's a big pantry where you saw the fridge in that area. There'll be a big pantry built in there. Cupboards either size, stove, oven, all that sort of thing. But the floorboards will run all the way through the home. Except the bedrooms. The wife wants carpet in the bedrooms.
Okay, so that's quite a few videos you owe us now, RC Bully. The car video, the house video, let's see what else. Anything else? Next question. See, what you see is what you get with us. Yeah, JP, yeah, I don't like the floor we have in there. It's like the toilet floor, actually. They put,
Like a lino,
like,
isn't it?
did you see...
Heavy duty lino.
Did you see the tile in the laundry? It's like a blue 1950 tile. Well, they covered the tiles in the toilet, but I noticed... What was it? What did they put on? What is that stuff?
It's like a thick linoleum.
Lino.
Lino.
We call it lino in Australia. Well, JP, I want to actually see if I can rip that up so the tile's the same as in the laundry show, instead of hiding it.
Kathy's sticking it in. But I'll give you an idea, RC, and
Okay,
we're not multi-millionaires, by the way, but to buy this old cottage on this block was $500,000, just as it is. Things in Australia are very expensive. Mind you, if I wanted to buy this size block in Sydney, $1.5 million, easy, with nothing on it. 800 square metre block near the city in Sydney, probably $2 million.
I mean, that's not boasting. That's just telling the facts of what we paid here and what we paid. I mean, at the end of the day, we own a house. We had to pay for it.
Mainly from donations through Super Chat, of course.
Yeah, and of course our holiday, all the drinks we had, and awesome soup was, Super Chat donations. Yeah, right.
I'll show you receipts if you like, I don't give a fuck. But the beauty of building is you can actually design the way you want to live. And we like an open living area. The bedrooms are good size and they'll be all separate. So, and the office. Well, the office is actually built, give you an idea, the office is 4 metres by 3 metres. What's that in feet? About 13 feet by 10. That's the office. And they'll have all timber decking through there as well. And we've got some old school doors from a just turn of the century school, and they're big Jarrah doors. So 12 by 9.
So tomorrow RC Bully will show you the shed. Would you like to see the shed
exciting.
tomorrow?
So we've got these beautiful old doors, and we've got some beautiful old colonial. Yeah, it's good size office, but it's being built, JP, that basically in the future, if it ever get resold, it'll be the same size as a bedroom.
Go, Kathy.
You picked the wrong person to pick on there, bully. Yeah, but Leroy's right. I've picked these papers up yet. I've started. Can you see on the edge?
I told you we're waiting for Leroy. to
Started,
come in.
Leroy. Started. Just got to get round to do it. Jarrah, Jarrah. It's timber. It's hardwood. It's usually a nice darkish colour,
That's it, JP.
and it's beautiful timber. It's used mainly, like I say, the floor's going to be expensive. The timber used is used to make furniture.
Said you have to have yeah, I know, Hamid, yeah. It's okay. We like what we have.
Yeah.
We probably could have bought something else, or maybe a bit better, less work, but it was the character of the house that got us, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we could have simply put a fence just on the edge of the pavers there and built another house behind. But we like a backyard. And we got lots of... Oh, there is news we haven't told you, and I'm going to release it now. You know we have 8 grandchildren.
Oh, yes.
Well, number 9's coming. Number 9's on its way. So my DNA is definitely passed down. It's not left on any blue velour seat.
Yeah, it is a big rock.
That's good size. It's only 800, but... What's she apologising for?
I don't know. Oh, because you said something about velour seats, your DNA. Number 9, yep, number 9 grandchild. I feel it will be a boy, but we'll
Yep.
see.
I think it's a boy. How we bought this place is interesting because we like the area, and we've been looking at a few things and didn't like them. It was a beaut old turn of the century property. It's close to 800,000, but it was 2-storey and all that. It's so small as far as block go, and the house was not that big. Some of the areas weren't very practical. But we drove past this place, and there was a little sign, no bigger than probably a foot by a foot,
Yeah, I saw it.
said
I said,
house for sale.
back up, back up.
So the wife said, back up. So I backed up, and the guy was there. He said, yeah, come and have a look. 3 weeks later, we moved in.
I see Bully's gone quiet.
I think Kathy's put him in a box. But we're close to being in the centre with all our kids either side, if you know what I mean. So it's a good area for that. Very close to the city, very close to the airport. 10 minutes either way, we're there. Like, we took Uber from here to get to the airport, and it was $13. Not much. It's about $9 US, I think. Well, there's a saying that goes around, Bully. What comes around goes around. When you dish it out, you've got to actually make sure that you're happy to accept it. Oh, we're definitely not empty nesters. We've got one of the grandkids or the kids staying with us, and when we build on, there'll be more of that, which we like. We don't mind our kids around. It's good. Good night to you, JP.
Good night, JP.
And one day, JP will be coming over here, and we'll have the JP wing in the house and the JP pavilion in the pool.
Oh, JP will happy if you're getting a cool girl.
Yeah. We'll get Irish to come over, and we can get Enrique to be the what do they call it? A surf lifesaver on the side. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
When are you coming to Australia, Sean? It's part of your colonial history. You can come visit the convicts.
Well, Sean changed his name.
Yeah. Used to be Sean the Brit. Now it's Sean. It's Sean. Well, the difference, Bully, is that it's not factual. You made a derogatory comment based on an insult towards Kathy. So you deserve to get back whatever you were given. It's like life. What you put in, you get out of it.
You can't change your name for 82 days.
I'll
Yeah,
show you.
Kathy's not abusing you, Bully.
That's the
it's like-
temperature here, Sean. And for us, that's Arctic weather. Bloody cold.
Exactly. You'll be able to take what you give. And, you know, sense of humour, a bit of fun. God's goodness sake, lighten up.
Yep, birds of a feather. Don't want to pry too deeply into it's 6 a.m. when I take the kids to school. Yeah, cold. Bully, I have a question for you, and it's not meant to be personally attacking at all. It's just an inquisitive. You know, I've just mentioned our 9th grandchild's on the way. You have kids? Do you have grandkids coming up, or do you have grandkids now? Just curious, because I know that after you have kids, you mellow a little bit. When you get grandchildren, you mellow a bit further. I'm younger than you think. No, I think 51, 52 years of age is not that young, Bully. I mean, come on. You don't have any kids. Well, maybe you need to first have a partner, I guess. I had an old car years ago, Hammers, and
Yes,
it
Sean.
was and I know Sean will know what it is. It was a Ford Anglia, Sean. There you go. That's how long ago this was. And on it, I wrote, "I may not be perfect, but parts of me are excellent. Nobody's perfect."
Yeah, and apparently the baby will be due on the 25th of December.
Yes.
So I'm hoping, well, I think it's a boy, but I'm hoping that he is late. I hope he's not born on, no, actually I want him to be late. I don't want him born Christmas Day, because a poor kid.
Well, it'd be a bit of a bum at born Christmas Day, because people
Yeah.
just give you one present and it covers your birthday and your Christmas.
Hey, Ginger.
Hello. Yep, you got to wait. You're just a young chicken, hooker.
That's all right, Awesome. We'll just share ours with you.
Yeah, we'll get her over to be a nanny to 9 grandkids. That'll be fun.
And yeah,
Put you over to the boss for a while.
the boss. Just remember that.
I do. Hey, Sean, do you remember these gloves? If I mention the words, Harold, Harold. Yeah, it's that cold. I'm wearing mittens.
I got mittens on. I don't need my ears because I've got me
Yeah,
hat.
you dirty old man. I'll have to have this while you have that.
Oh, I can't read that quick either. I just missed what Sean wrote. Read it to me.
If he comes home to tell me he's got a girl pregnant before the age of 30, he's going to get a whooping. What's he doing at home at the age of 30, Sean? Bully says upper body fat is the leading cause of depression. Well, you know that person you support, Bully, has got a head like a watermelon.
That's what he's got.
What does that mean?
It's crazy to see you all. What was that? What did Ginger say? You have to read it to me. I can't read.
It's crazy to see you're cold and it's 88 F here. I'd take
Oh,
88 every day.
Yeah, I know.
That's not
It's
too hot for us.
Oh, I don't understand Fahrenheit. It's 6 degrees. It's 43 Fahrenheit. It's cold.
Sean says it's probably close to 4 to 5 M seeds. I must have missed something. Asked a question and he's answered me, but I can't understand what his answer is.
Temperature? Fahrenheit, Celsius?
It's cold, I know that. This morning was 1 degree Celsius.
We got frost tomorrow morning. It's speedo weather over
Ugh.
here. No, it's not, Leroy.
Probably is in Canada. Well, we've got nice dressing gowns on, so we're not cold. It's very expensive in Sydney. Very expensive.
Yeah, Sydney is.
This block in Sydney would probably be a couple of million. Yeah, I wouldn't work out why San Francisco would be that expensive, but obviously it is.
See, it looks like a what? Gandalf.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, but people always say that.
I told you. You've been on the
A
big
wizard.
screen, Bully.
He's a
You
wizard.
don't believe me?
Well, I've got to dig that video out and then I have to convert it to digital because it's on the old VHS. Oh yeah, same. Hammered.
There's always more that meets the eye.
That's right. That's why people would just damn well be truthful. If you're going to put your life on here and you're going to say things and you're going to want money or you're going to ask whatever, I'm afraid I do believe in the old saying, prove it. Sometimes I agree things give a little bit here, a little bit there, that's fine. But when you're asking or want big amounts or you've got this, well, people can help in other ways. They can help you emotionally. They can sit and listen. Just be damn well truthful, for God's sake. Don't go through all these bullshit stuff.
What are my thoughts on Kat? Nothing really. I did say to her about 6 months ago not to do anything until after the settlement. Now, in America, like Australia, I could call up a lawyer today, and if I wanted to divorce, he would bring me on, no cost, but probably want 20 to 24% of the outcome. That's how they work it. You don't need to pay for an expensive lawyer. It's a civil matter in a civil court. It's not a criminal case.
Yeah, that's right.
It means that the judge will decide where and who gets what. Now, there's only so much you can present into a court of a civil matter. You can't bring any criminal information into a court. So I would be, if I was Kat, just getting a lawyer, getting a settlement and getting it over and done with and out the way. I certainly wouldn't be bringing it into the public eye. I certainly wouldn't be asking anyone for money.
Because that goes
But
to...
that's because there's two things. One,
Yeah.
If you get, say, 20 or 30 grand before a court settlement in a civil case, that can be used as collateral in the settlement. I'm sure some people know what I'm talking about. In other words, if the judge says, well, we're fully aware that you've received $30,000 in the last 3 or 4 months, that will be used as a settlement in the actual case. So if you're going to help somebody, don't do it till after the case is finished.
And that's all we said. We don't know enough of that story to comment any more on her.
Well, it's going to be to her own detriment, because without question she's very pretentious in the way she has lived her life. And I have an impeccable memory. I spoke to Hammers about half an hour ago. I have a photogenic memory, and I remember very clearly when Zia had a go at Kat in regards to Larry paying for her lifestyle. Well, her answer, and my mind is very clear on this, she said, I don't need his money. My father set me up for the rest of my life. Okay? I don't forget things like that. So that was either untrue at the time or just a rebuff to Zia.
Yeah, that's right, Sean.
It's Sean, it's up to every individual to decide what they do with their money. I certainly wouldn't tell them. But I won't be donating, like I say. After the case is settled, she can certainly get to the point of restarting her life, whatever that means. But if I had one word of advice I could give Kat, and it would be sincere, is to get the fuck off the web completely, rebuild your life.
Well, no, it's not
That's
that.
just my advice. I'm just saying.
It's fine that people are on here. It's just your life ends up coming on here. Just be yourself, for God's sake. Tell it as it is. Just tell the truth. People have more respect for you if you do that than play these stupid little games.
But I mean, to live your life online, it's sad in many ways. Sharing your experiences online with each other is fine, but
Well, that's right. If
every
there's no
intrusive-
advice, if she doesn't want advice, well, again, people give advice. It's they hear what they want to hear and they take what they want to take,
I'm not
and
going
that's
to
okay.
defend Kat, but I can tell you when people are in desperate times, they generally will do desperate measures. A lot of it has nothing to do with rational thinking. And so sometimes things like this are a huge mistake. But if you're desperate, sometimes you do desperate measures. And I don't hold it against her that she's asking for money, but I won't be giving any.
Well, it's surprising what we see and watch Hammered. Like I said, we've been on YouTube longer than people think.
I don't, like I say, Hammers, I collectively store most of the information I see. And when I see someone, like I saw you tonight, I can reflect that. I did it in conjunction with telling Bully that no, Hammers does work, because I remember what I saw.
I see, Bully, people have told Kat to get a job. I've seen it. You're just saying things like that now because we said things against Zia.
All things will pan out, and whatever will be, will be. But,
The future's not ours
Yeah.
to see.
okay, Sarah.
It's ours.
But you're the master of your own destiny. No matter what you think outside influences may push upon you,
Yeah,
you as an individual decide your future. And you can blame whoever you like, but the ultimate person that has to take control is yourself. You can help people up, you can make them get from their knees to their feet, but the last thing you should be doing is walking for them.
Can I have me phone back?
Mhm.
I'll now pass it back to the other boss.
You're listening to RAC Bully FM radio. Here's the latest song. I wear a pink tutu with my 9mm. They call me the bully 'cause I'm just a shithead fella. No, Bully, you're probably a nice guy. You're probably just misunderstood. You're brash, you're rude, you make offensive comments, then you cringe when someone has a go at you. If you're not willing to take it, Bully,
Don't give it.
yep, that's it. It's as simple as that. RC would just turn on his X. You must just have a house of electronics.
Okay, put your cam on and show us your house.
Yep, cam up, Bully.
We just took you through our
Drop
house.
a link into when you get the live going. Drop a
Yep.
link in here,
and we'll come and have a
I'll
look.
close this down. You do. It's the best medicine is laughter,
Oh,
even in the face of adversity.
sense of humour. I mean, sometimes I laugh when I shouldn't laugh. I remember, oh God, I remember this. This was years ago, many moons ago, going for a walk with my girlfriend, and this guy was jogging past us, and he thought he was like a stunner, obviously, you know. The chest came out, and he's jogging past us, trying to look good, and he ran straight into a fence and fell over it. Well, I mean, he could have got hurt, but I just pissed myself laughing. I couldn't help myself.
I don't think you need many subs at all to go live, Bully. I think you can go live anytime. You don't need to be monetised, I don't think. I've been monetised for many years,
Yeah, you don't need a lot of subs to go live, so go
but
live.
I don't put super chat on.
Put a picture there where your little icon is. Go
Yep.
live. Show
I'll keep
us
my
your
live
house.
stream going, but you put your link into your live stream, and then the missus will click on it. And when you
Yeah.
are officially live,
We'll come and see
we'll
your
all
house.
come over. And you can walk through your house and show us your car.
And your chili making, whatever it was you made.
Yeah, don't need to show your face.
I know, Ginger, but sometimes I've laughed when I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, it's like our family's very open with the discussion of death and all that sort of thing, or sort of in-family jokes and stuff like that, and that no one else would understand or think, oh my God, how could you laugh at that?
Yep. Life is a piece of string. We get given that piece of string, but we don't know how long it is.
And life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get when you open it.
Yeah, I suppose you've just got to let people know who you are, Sean. I picked it up pretty quickly. Doesn't matter. I mean, people
Well,
that
what's the
know you
picture?
know you.
I can't really see what's the picture.
Oh, he just changed his name and his avatar. No, I think most people know it, Sean. But the thing about a name on a screen is that I don't forget, me personally, I don't forget that there's a real person behind it, whoever that is, whether they're mean, nasty, nice, funny, it's a real person. And most of the nasty people I've met on here, you can tell that their lives aren't that good. And why people become derogatory or mean or nasty is they want to share their misery. Otherwise, they want you to feel as bad as they are. And I'm not making that up, that's a fact. You know, we all go through low times in life, but we deal with it in different ways. I certainly been through periods that have not been real good, but the last thing I would do is try to make someone else feel miserable, because I am. Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, true, Ginger.
Do tell, what happened, Sean? It's a lot easier just not sharing your misery or your pain, unless you've got a group of people that have a similar, say, health issue
I know sometimes
that would understand. Because a lot of people don't get it. I mean, people with back pain, for example, you can't see it, it's not tangible, and they'll tell you how much pain they're in, and it's real. They are in a lot of pain. They get frustrated because they can't show you a scar or an open wound, but they struggle getting up and down. Having a shower is a nightmare, trying to get in and out of the car. Yet no one can see a physical point of injury. And something like that can make people get into a very depressive state. It's how you handle it, whatever you can do about it. A lot of people, I can't believe the amount of medications that people take, because I will only take them when I have to, really have to. I was recently ill and I took some antibiotics, which I don't like taking. And I haven't done much of that in my whole life. But if you have to take something, take it. Or die. You have a choice.
A certain person came at me sideways, calling me an LCD askiser, and that I was basically a liar, when all I actually did was simply pass a message to Rosie telling her to check her phone messages.
Well, there's a simple answer to that, Sean. Put them in the irrelevant box. Gone. Nothing worse than not responding. When someone prods you, you know, like I'm gone. They get really frustrated.
I did this as a friend asked me to, as she has already been banned.
Like I say, I mean, the amount of shenanigans that go on down here with people who hate each other, who have never met each other, and they just want to go to war every day. What a waste of time that is. It's ridiculous.
Oh, well, it's just another rumour we'll start about Sean, eh?
Hmm?
We'll just start that rumour about Sean. He's a liar. Just kidding.
I think it's water off a duck's back for sure. I've had people try to attack me over the years, like everyone else, and I just say, okay, bring it on.
Yeah, to a point, but there comes a point where I'm a bit different to you. I have a cut-off point, and I want the truth to be known. If someone's telling bullshit or upsetting a friend of mine, whatever, I'm going to stick up for them, and the truth will come out.
But lots of people waste a lot of time chasing shadows they'll never see. And the end result, all they've done is waste time, get frustrated, angry with someone they don't know.
And I'm going in after this.
Yeah.
And take that in for a while. Sit in the lounge with everyone.
Well, if you want to. Whoop, too fast for me, I missed that.
It went from congratulating me on losing 40 pounds to then sending me an email like 0 to 100 minutes. No prisoners taken, no explanation.
We're going inside with you in a second. We're just finishing our ciggies and then we're going inside.
Sean, that is so unfair. This is knackered. He says people just want to jump to conclusions. Exactly, Kathy. I was thinking this is Ginger, thinking the other day about those who obsess on hate.
I don't know, we're going
and
inside.
misery.
It's just cold.
No, we're just going inside. We're not closing down yet. Oh, yes, we could take the whole chat into bed with us.
Ah. I can slowly take my clothes off, turn the lights down low, and then I shall snore for you.
Put that thing in your pocket so you don't drop it again.
Righto.
Because you've got to open the door.
Righto. You're right there. You're right
Come
there.
on, I gotta pee. Will you let me in?
No, I could just hang around, just
Oh,
wait a while.
stop it. Get in.
Oh, okay.
I gotta pee. But I don't want to take him in the toilet with me.
Now we'll do live coverage of you peeing.
No.
This is the toilet.
I don't even want the sound.
This is the pee event. I'm going to hold the camera right to the door.
Get away.
We don't get any snow at all. further down south, we've got a mountain range that gets a bit of snow during the peak of winter, but generally it's just gets cold. We've been warned we're going to have a cold winter. No, if I'm having a go at someone, Sean, I have a go at them to their face. I do not go third party. I won't accuse anyone of anything unless they're standing next to me, which is the way to do it, I think. Yeah, I remember that particular night you were telling the story about that bloke who needed a bed to sleep. It was about 1.5 to 2 foot of snow outside or something. No, I'm the type of guy who will never stab you in the back. I will pull you close towards me, stab you in the front, and then I'll listen to your last breath. Sorry. Just thought I'd do that. Yeah, if you're going to stab someone, stab them in the chest. Not behind their back. I don't go to a lot of channels anymore because I found that I was wasting my time. And I watch a lot of people. No, I couldn't do that either. I could not see that happen because in the hot summers we have, yeah, I'm probably accused of being fairly brutally honest sometimes, but I think it's a lot easier in the long run to be yourself instead of something you are not. I'm just putting the big screen on so I can see people type. I'd give you a hug. I'm a bit funny though. It's like I'd give you a hug. You know, like a lot of people kiss on the side of the cheek. Do that with all my kids and my daughter-in-laws and friends I've known for a long time. But if I meet you, awesome, I'll just give you a hug until I get to know you. It's just me. I don't use the words I love you when I don't even fucking know you. Do you know what I mean? How often do you go into a room and people say, oh, I love you? I don't even know you. So it's a very potent word in my eyes. It's something that should be used with caution and in the right direction. Again, that's just my personal opinion. Loads of people saying, love ya, love ya. What? What the hell are you going on about? You know, when I get the big screen up, I can see what you're saying. Yes, it has to mean something is what I'm saying. You can't say something as so emotive as that without having something to back it up. You know what? That light's going to be a pain in the ass. Oh well. Yes, I mean, you're a little bit younger than me, Sean, but I used to love Phil Collins. I was pissed when he retired, actually. And yet he did a tour in Australia recently, Sean, and it said the tour was, I'm Phil Collins, I'm not dead yet. That was the name of the tour. I'm not kidding you. But I think he just couldn't keep up. He was a potent singer, and like at the big sounds and all that. So I mean, I don't think his voice could carry years and years more of it. But I'm pretty sure Phil must be 63, 64 years of age. But yeah, I mean, I don't tell people what they should and shouldn't say. But when people flippantly say I love you, see you later, it's used in a weird way, like it doesn't mean anything. And you will often see people say, I've got your back. You couldn't stand Phil Collins. That's okay. I like Fleetwood Mac, Phil Collins, lots of old bands actually. I don't mind some of the modern music. I hate rap. As a prison officer, I'd be turning off Power to the Wings saying, boys, I've warned you, turn that shit off. He's in his 70s. Wow, he's getting old now. Yeah, but I mean, some of the people I've enjoyed over the years are gone now. Like some of the comedians have died, and Robin Williams I used to admire Robin Williams for his off-the-cuff humour and just instantaneous performances were very funny. But unfortunately, he took his own life. But as you get older, all the people that you have admired in your lifetime die. It's just what happens. What did Ginger say? Show me, don't tell me. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that there's plenty of brilliant people in the world that have taken their own lives. I knew, we all knew that he suffered depression. It wasn't that we didn't know that. And another, because I love cooking, as you know, one of the saddest losses in the last year was Anthony Bourdain. Again, there was nothing hidden about him suffering through depression. It was a fact. You just wish it didn't happen. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of old bands that a lot of the modern songs are covers of. I pick them. A lot of people, the younger kids, wouldn't pick it, but like I say, I've met quite a few comedians in my time, and the highest rank for me for his earthy humour is Billy Connolly, and he's on his last legs by all reports through ill health, but what a brilliant mind. And that's like Robin Williams. Their minds are unbelievable. They're like massive computers, and they can store all this information, and they deliver such a great delivery in their humour. Because above everything else, even though in his later career Robin Williams did quite a few serious movies, he was at his very best as a comedian. Yeah, it's probably a post-traumatic stress. Certain songs, it's like, I'll give you an idea in life. For me, there are flavours. If I eat something, it reminds me of where I was elsewhere and who you were with. Music does the same thing. I did tell the story about my wife's mother, who passed away recently, who was in a coma near the end, but I, just before midnight, a minute before midnight, found a German version of Marlene Dietrich singing Happy Birthday. And you remember that her mum was in a deep coma. It was near the end, wasn't speaking. When I played it, she sang it word for word, verbatim. And when she finished singing it, that was it. A few hours later, she passed away. But she was conscious through the power of music. And I know a lot of people get different things out of music, but it's like a tool. And when people are in that sort of state, that there's parts of the brain that are still there. So it was a wonderful experience. It was just me and my wife. It was, like I say, when I'd gone home that particular day, but she hadn't been with us all day. She'd been into that, heavily sedated, as you know, and then she sang it like she was awake, and she opened her eyes while she was singing it. Smiled, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a wonderful experience to have had. George Carlin, yeah, he was funny. He was probably just as intellect as Billy Connolly, George Carlin. If you haven't or don't know who we're talking about, certainly just copy and paste what Hammer's put in there, George Carlin, and you'll get a laugh. He would take the piss out of every politician you can ever imagine, take the piss out of life, lay it on the line. But if you don't know George Carlin, certainly Google him, or even on YouTube, have a look. He's got some wonderful material still left. Beauty about video is that some of the people that do leave us, we get to keep it. For me, it's like there's a certain flower called a gardenia. It's normally a white, doesn't have to be a white, but a white gardenia. Now, if you know the smell I'm talking about, it's one of my mother's favourite flowers. And from time to time, I swear to you, I don't make this shit up, I will smell it. And it's like, there is no flowers, we got no gardenias. And it's like, I wonder. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. No, you'd have to turn that around.
Really? She's got Snapchat up.
Put that on my phone.
What are you going to do? You want me to put this on the phone?
Yeah.
Like that.
Hey guys,
Can't see.
thank you very much for coming tonight.
Jeez, what else are you doing here?
Open your mouth.
I don't know if they can even see it, can they?
Yeah.
No, it's too blurry.
Too glary.
Is it? I don't know. I can't see. Oh. I don't know what you can see.
I've lost your face now.
You do, yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's horrible. I don't know, can I see it? Snapchat.
Yeah, I can see it on a big screen.
Not loading. Oh, got stars.
Okay. Fun and games. What old people do when they're left to their own devices. Gardenia smells like heaven. I don't know. But like I say, that was my mother's favourite flower. And I don't question the universe. I don't understand it fully, but I think if you accept that you're not to know, it's okay. It's like people talk about ghosts or encounters or whatever. I don't dismiss them because I'm not them. Could be true. I don't know. It's hard to dismiss something if you're not the person who went through the experience. I did a talk probably a couple of years ago about my theory that you know how our genetics are handed down by our ancestors? It's a fact. We know it. You know, someone will come up to you and say, you look just like your uncle or your great-grandfather. And it's a physiological fact that your genetics are handed down. Well, my theory goes a bit further than that. You know, when you have these deja vu moments or you sense something and it's weird. Well, there's no reason in my logic that says not only our physical DNA is handed down to us, but our ancestral memories, significant memories. Maybe my great-great-great-grandfather was in a battle and I'm remembering something like that. I'm getting to a place in France, say, and I'm standing there thinking, I feel like I've been here before. I don't think myself that it's a reincarnation that I've come back. That's just me. I believe it's a memory that's handed down with the rest of my DNA, that's embedded within my code, if you like. And I don't find it a question of that can't be possible. I think it's very much so, because every one of you here would have had a deja vu moment, like you go somewhere and think, I've never been here before, but I certainly sense that I've been here before. Or you taste something, or you meet somebody, and it's like, I've known this person forever, but I only met her 15 minutes ago. Those sort of things for me are like a memory shared from our ancestors. And it's not a scary thought, it's a practical, logical thought, because physically we know that we replicate to an extent our DNA from our ancestors, even from 100, 200 chains ago in regards to, 1,000 years ago. Why can't their memories or significant memories? And what I bring that point up for, I'm sure, when I was 9, I was hit by a car, nearly died. And you start thinking, well, that's a significant thing. in 200 years is one of my great-great-great-grandchildren going to have this dream about being hit by a car. See my point? It's not breaking any religious rules by talking like this. It's not breaking any scientific rules by talking like this. What it is saying is that it's my belief that our ancestors' memories, if not only but portions of them, are certainly handed down. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just
See you,
crazy.
Sean.
See you, Sean. You liar. I'm just kidding. Have a good day, mate. I think some of the things that we could embellish into what I'm saying is that not only, my thoughts about memory DNA being passed down to us, but there's the storytelling. Now, when I was a kid, my grandfather, who was born in 1895, would tell stories to me about his grandfather, born in late 17th century. So there's a physical memory of the story being told, okay, which could be, as a child, thought of as a dream later, and certainly not memory DNA, but actual memory of a story being told. But I'm not making any of this up because there are scientific studies into what I've just told you about memory DNA, because it has significance in regards to helping people with psychological issues, like someone has this dream all the time and they're dying in the dream, whatever. And one of the studies showed that, in fact, he didn't know, in America in the Civil War, his grandfather did die in a terrible way. He was hit by a cannonball. And it's like saying, well, and this, this is like 3 generations down. That was part of the study in regards to memory DNA. That's the only explanation that they could give this guy. But after he was told this, he stopped having the nightmare, because he was given an answer, whether it was factual 100% or not. Psychologically, it helped him not have these, I think it was actually labelled night tremors, in regards to this fearful, it was always like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. In his deep sleep, he'd have these, and wake up sweats and terrible. So some of these things that I'm talking about, they're not unrealistic. Maybe it's not true, but for me, it makes a lot of logic that physical DNA is passed down to us. Why not some of the significant memories of our ancestors passed from one generation to another? In Aboriginal terms, it would be called the dream time, which is talking about 40,000 years of history of Australian Aboriginals having these memories told by stories and by paintings on a wall. But I know there's further study coming into it. Now, it's sort of, if this was fact, it would nearly eliminate people thinking about reincarnation in as much as its memory from previous generations. And I believe, and Awesome's about the down the same line, we are the sum of our ancestors physically. There's no reason why we wouldn't be part of the memory of our ancestors as well. But it does tell me deep inside, I don't believe any church or walls with fancy windows in them can offer you anything, because I believe we're all part of the same thing. And even if you want to look on a theological side, or you want to look on a scientific side, what I just said is fact. If you go back in line, we either started with a couple of people and we now expanded to this huge population as we are, so that makes it fact. Or scientifically, you go back in the same line. We started with a couple of apes, and then some of us did progress from that. Some live in a B-class van, cargo van. But my whole point of that exercise is that I believe not only are we, no matter how you want to put it in a ball, we are part of a bigger picture. And we only have good things to look forward to beyond this life. Because if I ask you one specific question, whatever your beliefs are about what happens at the end of your life, what happened before you were alive? How did you get to have this thought process like I'm talking to you today? Where did this come from? Did it just got lucky? Or are we the sum of all our own beings, which I believe in? We came from there and we're going back to there. And there's an old saying about the circle of life. Yep, I believe that, Ginger, to many extents. And it didn't even have to be what we know as religion today. In paganism, going back thousands of years, sun gods, river gods, crocodile gods were basically used to control people. And I have no respect at all, and I mean that sincerely, for organised religion, just like I have no respect for organised crime. Both are set out to control the masses. Is that a detriment to religions? Not the faith of people. I'll never attack the faith of people. The organised religions I don't like at all. If a man or a woman has a faith and believes in something, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. I have a great deal of problem when people are being indoctrinated to believe something because people just tell them. We are a smart animal and we can make up our own minds into regards to what we believe, our own faiths. So faith is not a problem. No matter what faith you are is not an issue. It's whether you're willing to get on with your fellow man and keep your faith to yourself or with your own closed community, whatever that is, that's fine. But you don't need brick, mortar, windows and steeples to have a religion or have a faith. So I think, like I say, if you want to follow the Guru seeds, I believe we're the sum of our ancestors. We are the continuation of a line of thought and body. That's what we are, no matter how far you go back. As far as we're going forward to after this life, I have no fear of that at all. I don't like the getting in pain and taking a lot of medication crap. Might happen. But I don't have any fear at the end because I believe I'm going to be exactly where I was at the beginning. We all, in my eyes, have something wonderful to look forward to, because the trials and tribulations of our spirit, if you want to call it that, here in the living earth is very trying. It's tough to be alive. But that's just my views. I don't, like I say, I would never admonish anyone's faith. I don't like organised religion. I do like when people have their own thoughts and ideas about their faith and they can express it without demanding I join them. And another thing, just to finish off, I just want to tell you a secret. There is no hell.
You create your own hell.
Living is hell, but there is no hell. I'm not going to put a big black stick up and saying, if you don't follow seeds, you're going to hell. I think in our lifetimes, most of you are not old, but in your lifetime you've seen exactly what I have seen. And the terrible things that organised religion has done, not even mentioning just the offence of sex offender pedophilia, but the control, the pain. I mean, if you know history, you'll understand what I'm saying. There is probably not one war that's been created, and most wars are created, unless it involves some sort of persecution against some other faith. That's what it's been about all the time. So, but you give someone power, and when they have absolute power, they are definitely corrupt. Most politicians, I'm sure, enter politics with the right intention of trying to fix problems. But after a period of time, you watch them change and they cater for their own needs and their own ego and their belief that people should bow down to them because they're all powerful. They're just people. But I don't think we deserve to go to another planet, I'll be honest with you. We stuffed this one up pretty badly. Why would we be allowed to go on another planet? Anyway, I've rambled on for a little while. I hope you enjoyed it because it's what I feel life is all about. It's to be lived. I do believe we carry not only our DNA physically, but I believe we also carry the memories and the thoughts and the processes, however jumbled up they are, within our DNA as well. It's probably worth having a panel to discuss that if they're interested in the future. I will do a panel, but we'll get the extensions finished and I'll get the office set up properly. It's not like what I'm saying is not your truth. See, I don't ever think that way. What I'm saying is that's what I believe. I believe we go through this period alive, and it's a test of some sort, or it's a process from beginning to end. But whilst you're here, even if it is a test and it's a process, try and enjoy it. Because we're a long time, as they say, dead, and we're a long time before we got here, not dead I suppose, but not here. But I believe we all end up in some place wonderful. It's not a bad faith when you think about it. Anyway, I'll let you go. I'm sure you've got all day to do something. And I hope whatever you do during the day, you enjoy it. If you have a bad day, just remember that one's out the way, and obviously the next one will be even better.
Or what?
What?
I missed what you said.
Watch the replay. Yeah, I think the beauty about why I come on is to talk to people and just express. I love my life. We've got great kids, great grandkids, and we do what we can. We had a wonderful holiday recently. That doesn't happen every year, of course, but live your life. Don't live it through somebody else if you can. If you're not physically possible to go anywhere, or you financially can't do it, even go down the local creek. Take a fishing rod with you. Make a picnic basket up. Do something different and enjoy the things you do. Because there's one thing we never get back. We can always lose money and get money back. We can always lose friends and get new friends. But what we can't do is get time back. It's a limited resource and you don't get a refund, even if you didn't like it. All right, people, have a good day, good night, and I hope to catch up with you shortly. Do you want to say good night?
Night, everybody.
The boss has spoken.
I love yous all.
Oh, here we go.
I love yous all. Big hugs and kisses.
I don't love you at all.
I do. I say it, and I will always say it. I love yous all.
Okay, on that note, I like yous. It's going to take a long